They supposed to be putting medicine in America to help motherfuckers feel better and help you live better. But these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about the medicine. They out making their motherfucking money. They give you one medication supposed to fix some shit, and the side effect fuck up your leg and shit. Then they give you another one to fix that, and it fuck up your arm, and now you on 2 medications looking like a flamingo in front of your motherfucking children and shit. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Just 1 month, they say this is the best medicine ever. It'll cure everything. And then 3 months later, you hear this quiet-ass commercial. Have you or one of your loved ones been killed from using our medicine? Dial 1-800-RBAD. That's 1-800-RBAD. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Weed is still illegal, and all of their shit is still fucked up. Their medication either don't work, or it worked too fucking good. And I wasn't familiar with working too good, and I had to find out the hard way. I got a son that's 7, his name Malik. This nigga run every goddamn day. That's what the fuck he do. You ain't gotta chase him, you ain't gotta train him, you ain't gotta put shorts on him. This nigga is ready every morning. Soon as his foot touched the goddamn ground, out the bed, shoo, that nigga's gone for the rest of the goddamn day. Shoo, 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 shoo. You either see him like this or like that. That's your only 2 options. Shoo, 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 shoo. And he be happy as shit. Now, the nurse at the school say, she say it's not healthy. I said, you don't understand. The nigga's happy. She said, no, you don't understand. Whether he's happy or not, it's not healthy. I said, now I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. The nigga, I can't put the nigga in trouble for being happy. That's kind of, nigga, stop being happy and get in there and be miserable. I can't fucking do it. So I said, what do you recommend? So she recommended Ritalin. Now, she told me the shit was gonna even him out. Now, either I don't know what the fuck even means, or Ritalin got crack cocaine in it. One of the two is a goddamn fact, because this shit is no bullshit. I wasn't ready, he wasn't ready. This shit caught both of us off guard. I gave the nigga the shit in the kitchen. He was on the way to his room. That nigga never even made it out the hallway. That shit caught that nigga in mid-stride. He was just... Now, for the first 2 hours, I was happy as shit. I'm getting shit done. I'm like, this is wonderful. But after 3 hours, you got to come check on the nigga now. After 3 hours, nigga, what you doing? My kid's smart ass. I'm being good like you want it, daddy. Okay, touche, my nigga, touche. This what fucked me up. I was like, you've been sitting there for 3 hours. What are you thinking about? That nigga said, running? Well, go on and run then, little nigga. Go on and run.
For those of you who really believe marijuana's the killer weed, prepare to be shocked by the facts. While the use of alcohol alone kills 20,000 Americans every year, marijuana use alone has never, in history, resulted in a single death. But it will get you arrested. 700,000 nationwide every year. Ordinary, responsible Americans forced into the criminal justice nightmare for simply possessing a substance less harmful than alcohol, marijuana. It's time to stop punishing adults for making the rational, safer choice.
I spent a lot of time working on the war on drugs. I've spent time in Colombia and Bolivia and here in the United States working on stories about cocaine and heroin and methamphetamines. And I was actually shocked at the military hardware and the personnel that is involved in the fight against marijuana. This issue is one about which people are extremely, extremely passionate on all sides. So those who are huge proponents of legalization are vehemently so.
Well, because I think it's absurd that, that a plant that grows naturally should be vilified, and, like, people should be sent to prison for something that is just, helps thousands of people and really harms nobody.
And those who are trying to enforce the law and trying to combat the international trafficking and the growing of illegal marijuana are also extremely passionate.
I like the activist end of it. I really feel like this is something I can get my teeth around.
Both sides are on opposite ends of the spectrum, but equally as passionate in their fight for and against marijuana.
Now, I will give you permission to come in, okay, because I have to by order of Health Canada. I will give you permission to enter.
I've experienced few issues as contradictory and confusing as this marijuana issue. This is quite a hot jungle.
Yes, it is quite a hot jungle.
Wow. And I really think that it's time that our lawmakers and drug enforcement officials, perhaps scientists and intellectuals, actually sit down and scrutinize this issue and figure out a way to possibly better regulate it, possibly decriminalize it. And there is a way, I think, because relative to methamphetamines and cocaine, it's not as extreme a drug.
Well, we always have a menu with an array of hashes on the front page. Shiva crystals and Ganesh wafers are two of our very popular hashes.
Maybe there's a way to liken it to our laws vis-a-vis alcohol.
Since they've allowed us to be able to have a marijuana card and purchase marijuana from a safe environment, it's really helped rather than trying to purchase marijuana out on the streets and where it's really hectic and it's dangerous.
I don't know that marijuana will ever be legalized. It quite possibly could become decriminalized, but I do know that the arguments for legalization are very strong.
Industrial hemp is not a drug, though it is of the same species as marijuana. It is a completely different variety of plant, similar to comparing a Chihuahua with a St. Bernard.
You can't get high from industrial hemp, but you can get high from marijuana. This is the only industrialized country in the world that doesn't grow industrial hemp. I mean, think how crazy it is that we can eat the product, we can sell the product, we can wear the product, we can export the product, import it, manufacture it, everything but grow it. We can't grow this thing. It's criminal.
And there you have it. After 2 years of research, our quest for answers has only left us with more questions. And the only thing that really seems to make sense is that none of it makes any sense.
It's a weird thing that you do when you make nature against the law.
We're worried about things going extinct, and yet the policy on the most useful plants in the world is that they should all be eliminated and driven to extinction.
Absolutely, they should still be concerned about youngsters using it. But we're concerned about youngsters using alcohol, tobacco, driving automobile, whatever. But that it should be the kind of prohibition that it is now, rather than regulation, it cannot be sustained in a rational society.
I believe it would be more ignorant of me to listen to somebody who's trying to oppress me than it would be to just ignore the ignorant and go on with what I think is right. Even now, this interview is being conducted. I smoked pot all morning. This is what I look like high.
There's a great quote that life is a tragedy to those who feel and a comedy to those who think. And if you are a thinker and you look at the marijuana situation and you're not laughing, you're fucking dumb.
Do you think marijuana will ever be legalized in Canada or the United States?
Yes. I don't know about the United States, but it will be legalized in Canada. I won't be alive to see it.
I used to believe it was right around the corner back in the 1970s.
Check out the gray hair. I confess to being 61. I believe it will happen. I didn't used to. As recently as 2 or 3 years ago, I was convinced it was not going to happen in my lifetime.
I wish you didn't ask me that question, but I would say I think it will be.
It's always a possibility. There can be breakthroughs to reason.
All we have to do to end it is get 50% of Congress plus
one human being to say it's over, and it's over.
There's a movement in this country, and some people have more faith in it than I do. Maybe from hosting Fear Factor all those years, I've lost my faith in human beings and their intelligence.
I think it's inevitable. I believe that the truth will set us free, and I think the truth is infectious, and I think that while cannabis per se is not addictive, learning about it quickly becomes.
When I published Marijuana Reconsidered, I, in the last chapter, predicted that once people understood these things about marijuana, the prohibition would be gone. It would be gone in 10 years. Carl Sagan, who was a very good friend of mine, read the manuscript and he said, "Lester, you're so pessimistic. 10 years?" Well, here we are, 45 years later, and nothing has happened. Nonetheless, it can't help but happen. I mean, you can't sustain a lie like that forever.